Hey, this is Ashley,
And Cindy,
and this is Life for Dummies.
because we're real dumb.
Yes, we are.
Sometimes we are.
Oh my gosh.
Way up, thoughts spinning all inside my room. It keeps me right.
So, what are we talking about today, Cindy?
I thought we should talk about people that judge don't matter and people that matter don't judge.
Oh wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I used to feel like everybody was judging me. And everybody had their opinion about how I was living my life and what I was doing. And when I started living this new way of life, I still felt as though everybody was judging me. And someone finally said to me, people that matter don't judge and people that judge don't matter. And it was like a moment for me where it was like, wow. Like I don't need to worry about what everybody else thinks anymore. I just need to worry about doing the next right thing and what I think of myself because that's what matters.
Why do you think the people that matter don't judge?
Well, because I think that people that matter and care about you and I, the people we surround ourselves with, understand what we've been through, where we've been, what we've had to do to get to where we are today, and they don't judge us because they don't have any room to talk either.
What's interesting about this concept is that I was thinking of some of the really successful people in life who I either listen to on the internet or are in my real life, and I follow and I try to emulate their characteristics. And what's super interesting about it is that those people are always like, hey, there is plenty of room at the top. And they're like really welcoming of all of our efforts. And they recognize that when failures or mistakes happen, they actually are like, I'm so happy for you. The faster you can fail means the faster you'll find success.
Right. I heard it once said that fail means first attempt in learning. And we have to fail sometimes and sometimes miserably in order to learn anything. And it is a part of life. And no one is perfect. Nothing is perfect. And the sooner you get this idea out of your head that, I have to be perfect, I can never make a mistake, the mistakes are what have taught me the most in my life.
That's so true. And I honestly think that, like, failure and being able to persevere through it is what accomplishes the inner strength to be able to find that life beyond our wildest dreams.
Absolutely. It's the perseverance that comes in handy. Because listen, I don't do this perfectly all the time, and I still make mistakes. But through those mistakes comes the most growth, right? I have to sometimes fall back a couple steps to figure out which way to go forward. And when that happens, it's usually a blessing and a lesson, and I learn so much more for it. So, is it painful? Sometimes, yeah. Do I like to admit that I don't have all the answers? Absolutely not. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes I'm just real dumb, and it takes more than one try.
Totally. I mean, you and I have failed a lot, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley and I have a lot of experience with making bad choices and wrong decisions and not getting it right the first time. And that's why I think we're so better equipped to help others. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. And I also think that we don't feel bad about ourselves when we fail. And we're not worried about like what the next person is going to do or say or think. And that freedom allows us to have peace, really inner peace, and it allows us to truly aim for what we feel are the desires of our heart in this life.
Yeah, listen, I have come across people in my life who they tell me things should be a certain way and I should do things a certain way and there's only one way to do it. And that is that has not been my experience, right? There are many ways to get the end result. Ashley and I, have found a certain way of life that produces what we want and how we want to live, and who am I to judge? There is plenty of room for everyone at the table, like you said. I have no business judging anyone. I have no room to talk. I am not a perfect human being, never will be.
Well, you have a lot of self-honesty and you have a lot of confidence. I find that the people who judge the most typically are the most insecure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that has been my experience. When I was an insecure person and had very little self-worth and self-esteem, I judged everyone. I was the first one to point out what someone else was doing wrong. And it took a long time to get here. It is a process. It takes a long time to get comfortable within my own skin. It takes a long time to be able to say, I don't know, and that's okay. You know, it takes a long time to be able to know that the biggest asset I have is asking for help and being open to it. And when I start doing those things, judging others just doesn't happen anymore, because I understand the willingness, the courage, and the perseverance that it takes in order to get here.
Why do you think people who are insecure judge everyone?
Because just that, they're insecure and they feel like, someone's going to find them out. Someone's going to figure it out and they're going to realize they don't have it all together. So if I point the finger at everyone else and I'm judging everyone else and not drawing attention to myself, maybe no one will notice, right?
Oh, that's so interesting. So it's this concept of pointing the finger to keep the eyes off of myself.
Right. If I keep the focus on everyone else, no one's paying attention to me. So weird, right?
It's like a mind blown for me. Holy cow, is that what they're doing?
I mean, that's why I did it. Listen, if I am picking at everyone else and judging everyone else and getting everyone else to look at what everyone else is doing, then no one will pay attention to me and I can just keep doing what I'm doing, whether it's acceptable or not. Most of the time it's not.
What I think probably is within the realm of what we're talking about here is, do you think that some people don't even know that they're acting this way? Like, do you think it's on a subconscious level that they're just judging and pointing the finger at everyone else without realizing that they have high insecurity and are just trying to keep the attention off of themselves?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, think about your past. When you were pointing everyone else out and their character defects, so to speak, it was because you didn't want anyone to look at yours, right?
Well, I don't even know if I knew consciously that is what I was doing. On a subconscious level, I think that there's a layer of what we're talking about here. I think that layer exists on a subconscious level. People are just acting out in their character defects completely unaware, right? Living in self-delusion or self-denial.
Right. And it goes back to what we talked about last time, that self-deceit, right? If you lie to yourself enough, you will begin to believe it, and then everyone else is the problem. And
wow.
Yeah, and it just goes back to being willing and entirely ready to be honest with yourself and surrendering.
This is making me think of are the people who are kind of caught in this lifestyle and don't think anything is wrong. And you and I look at their lives from the outside and see ourselves in them and think, holy cow, remember when we were there, when the reason why we thought nothing was wrong was because everything was wrong?
Yes.
And we needed to change just one thing.
Everything. Yeah. Oh boy. It is just a mind. Yeah. Because literally, like, everything was wrong. But if I keep doing what I'm doing and I'm hanging out with people that are doing the same thing, then actually nothing's wrong, right? Even though I know and I feel it inside. When I was living that life, I knew it wasn't okay, but the fear of something different kept me there for a very long time.
That's the nail on the head. You're right. On a deep, deep inner level, I was unhappy. And I just didn't know how to not be unhappy.
Yeah, and that's what Ashley and I want for you. We want you guys to be the best version of yourself and be the happiest individual you possibly can be. But it is a process and it takes time. Nothing happens overnight here.
You become your 5 closest friends, right?
Yeah.
So we want you to have Cindy and I be 2 of your 5 closest friends.
Absolutely. We're here for you guys.
We love you. Keep coming back.